The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work his way forward up to the 22. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down. And a quick look at the Buccaneer defensive starters.
After Quan Alexander was drafted by Tampa Bay, I asked someone in the organization, where are you going to play him? Outside linebacker? And they said, no, we're actually going to play him in the middle. And that surprised me because of his size. But as they told me, this is a speed game in the NFL now. And there won't be any faster middle linebackers than Quan Alexander, who uses his speed to evade blocks, slip blocks, and run down ball carriers.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. It's a gain of 7, and that'll bring up fourth down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. 36 yards on the punt with no return, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They're led out by a man raised in Alabama, went to Florida State. It's their quarterback, Jameis Winston.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He was able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only they're controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. Quickly now, the starting 11 for the Oakland defense.
Khalil Mack's been an all-pro for the last 2 years, but it only tells part of the story. In 2015, he was an all-pro at 2 different positions, defensive end and outside linebacker. And why? Because he's a hybrid. He can do anything you want. Rush the passer with his hand down, play with strength. He can also drop into coverage as an outside linebacker. I think he can cover tight ends and running backs with equal proficiency.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Fresh set of downs here. Jameis to throw it. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. They go play action here on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And that'll bring up a third down.
In today's NFL, when you get teams in long yardage situations with your defense, you're really going to go to your speed packages. You're going to get smaller, lighter guys on the field in order to cover the expected pass. So they might want to run the ball against a smaller, lighter lineup with your big guys, and that's exactly what happened on that play. It was tough on them, and now instead of being in third and very long, they ended up setting themselves up in third and manageable. They've got a chance at a first down.
On third down, Winston. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. This crew, they were on a roll going into the bye week that they just had, Charles, so sort of picking up where they left off.
And you and I both know that when you come back off of an open week and you've been winning games, you should get a few extra days off in order to recharge and refuel. But coaches often hedge their bets, too. They'll bring them back and work them really hard that first practice back to make sure that they're back and grounded.
Whatever they did, formula looking good so far in this one. That time, a 9-play drive. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Give them a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Second down here after the incomplete pass. He'll look to throw. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. So let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Back to throw here. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, when we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
On is the punter, King, to send it away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So they ran against the 4-6 defense. Not only did they run against it, they tried to run it right up the gut.
And that's really not a great place to go when you're running against what is commonly known as the Bear defense, made popular by those great Chicago Bears teams. No place to go right in the middle of that.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
I think the training and practice broke down on that play because he simply didn't run the route deep enough to get to the first down marker, despite what was a really nice catch and toe tap on the sideline.
Well, that's 3rd down 101. You got to go to the marker, know where it is. Well, nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And this is their 3rd drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a second drive, no first down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up?
And he rifles one incomplete. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. And they give this time to the tailback. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 12 yards that time at an Oakland first down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here.
Let's go!
He'll drop to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make it third down. At the end of one, 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They'll face a third down conversion attempt here, 3rd and 3. They'll look to throw here. Throw left side complete. It's Campbell. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Looking to throw. And that'll be incomplete.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Marquette King now as he's on to punt for Oakland. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Winston now to throw on first down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Second down, Winston. Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
On 1st and 10, Winston. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Jameis now on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Now Jameis on second down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Bucs on third down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Working out of the gun. Winston. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Here's Brian Anger now, standing right around the midfield stripe. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
Every now and then when we see a really good run, we really tend to focus on what other people did in order for that run to happen, what the offensive line did, what the receivers did to help. Sometimes the running back's pretty good, too. And on that play, he picked up a lot of good yardage and made it happen with great effort.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
Well, it looks like they caught him off guard on 2nd and very long by running the football. All right, we always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that worked very well for him. Picked up really nice yardage, but they still have a lot of work to do on 3rd down.
And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
All right, need you to check my eyes here. This entire unit defensively, I think, has looked really strong in the first half, especially in the secondary. They've been cohesive, fast to the football. We just saw another example arriving there to help knock that one away.
A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. A look at Jameis Winston now as he gears up to lead this offense again. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
To throw is Winston. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The 30, the 20, and he'll be down deep into Oakland territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 66 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. And on his way to the end zone, shedding the tackle, he would not be denied.
That's what's called finishing the run. Making sure you power your way through. One-on-one tackle. No running back wants to go to the bench and say, I got stopped just short.
Now Folk for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. It's a short kick, taken at the 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. They run a draw here on second down. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. The Raiders on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
They'll set up a throw. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Quan Alexander in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? Third and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
Here's Marquette King now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A little juke, and now running right through it. 1 minute 53 ticks left to go in this first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Larry Ridley is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. First down, Winston. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's able to get out to the 32, run down there. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. He'll look to throw.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
Now let's go. 3-19.
They're going to look to throw. His throw incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Now back to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. And he fires one that's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. On for the extra point is Folk. And it is now 21-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now Oakland ready to take the field.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. This one left side caught by Patterson. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Newton. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. Back to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Newton. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
Let's go. Green, 39.
Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Back to throw again. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Buccaneers out on top. As we send you across the country to Orlando, standing by there, Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Okay, Brandon, thanks, and welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get to the highlights. The Raiders haven't played their best football and trail because of it. The Buccaneers have come in and looked good as the road team and will just keep trying to play hard and maintain the lead going forward. All right, let's roll the highlights. 3rd and 7. Winston's on target here, and he ends up at the 39-yard line before he stopped on the play. Bucs now later on the drive. The quick pass and completion is made, and he capped off the 8-play drive with a TD, giving them an early lead. Now midway through the second, they'll go with the run here, and this 2-play drive goes for a touchdown. That puts them on top by 14. Now 1st and 10, the pass ends up being picked off. Buccaneers would then turn it around for the TD. Buccaneers up now by 21. So that'll do it for us. Let's get back out to Oakland now as we turn it back over to Brandon Guy.
Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. Shrugs him off. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. They'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Bucs on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Winston. Open man has got one. It's complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Now that play was doomed right from the start.
He just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Jameis to throw it. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Seven yards to go on 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Winston now. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
here's Nick Folk now on for the field goal. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And it is good. Oh, that one looked to be in trouble the whole way, but it does get over the bar. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. So as it turns out, that sack does not wind up costing him, at least in terms of getting points. They get 3.
Yeah, once you see your quarterback go down the backfield, you think, uh-oh. But fortunately for them, their kicker came to the rescue and made sure they got something out of that drive after all.
This will be taken in at the 1. A nice little juke. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss.
Here we go.
Now a handoff looking right. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving.
False start, offense.
The Raiders on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12.
Green 39. Green.
They'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Marquette King now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And take it right on the 30. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Jameis Winston and company heading back onto the field now. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side, you know. And in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
And they give this time to the tailback. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now they run with Sims. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
So it'll be first down here after the run. They'll try to throw now. Winston. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it a second down. Now a second down throw for Winston. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The Bucs on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 9. Winston. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Brian Anger now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. .44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
A Raider first down, 17 yards.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that the defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? But where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, that's 2 guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. They tried to run it to the short side of the field. There just wasn't a whole lot of room to work with.
Yeah, it seems like things just kept getting strung out towards the sideline, and he kept looking for a spot to dive up into the gap. There just wasn't one, so that turned into nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
And no gain. He's got his man on the crossing route. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in the East Bay. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Newton. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Raiders on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Green 39! Green 39!
He'll drop to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Newton, and he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving.
False start, offense.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. And the 8th play on this drive coming up.
Let's go!
Back to throw here. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and 5.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed, I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Over the middle, complete. That's Campbell. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no zero. You're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. And they'll get set here looking for the 2-point conversion. They'll look to throw again. And he'll find his way in for 2. And we're back to a 2-score game. The lead's cut to 16. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure. But that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready. Because you may need multiples throughout a ball game. There's a great example right there.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 6. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And, you know, their previous possession, they were able to move the football, but still wound up punting in the end.
You know, in 2016, Carolina had a 20-play drive that lasted over 10 minutes. And remember how it ended?
In a punt.
Yeah, I mean, how does that happen? You just don't see that happen every day.
This one maybe not quite that bad, but still, you'd like to have a chance for points if you hold the football that long.
Agreed.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
They'll run it now out of the gun, and he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Now, that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, and you have to get the ball back, Everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking it the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge fourth quarter stop? They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much of an opening there as he's only going to get this to about the 32. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
All right, here we go.
They'll set up to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Newton. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
After that incompletion, I almost get the sense that he's going to look up at the booth and kind of look at us and say, hey, you guys got any suggestions? It's been that kind of game, hasn't it? They've had him on the run throughout.
Yeah, and I get that you're trying to make a play here losing fourth quarter, but to throw when you're not set with pressure coming could have been an interception.
Very much so, and it's been that kind of game for him. They've had him on the run, had him off balance. He's got to find a way to make some big-time throws down the stretch.
And a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Newton. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Hurry up, here we go.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving.
False start, offense.
That was a 3rd and somewhat manageable now, not so manageable.
Exactly, because you had a play call on that you felt like, hey, this could go quick, and it doesn't take much to get it done. Now, you got to start thinking about a little bit of a deeper route type of a call, especially if you want to throw it.
They'll drop to throw. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21.
Well, when defensive coordinators game plan to put pressure on a quarterback, they often want to use blindside rushes, and that's exactly what they did there. The quarterback gets to him and drops him.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Johnny Holden, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders get a score closer. Now a big two-point conversion attempt still to come. So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out and a 5-yard penalty.
False start, offense.
So now what do you do as it comes back to the 7?
I think you stick with your strategy. You've already told your team you're going for 2. You dial up a different play. The only saving grace, a bit more room to operate if you're deciding to throw the ball especially.
Looking to throw. And he is going to get in. But there is a flag down. And this is in the area of holding.
Holding, offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Here we go. 3-19.
They're going to try and run here. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. A very pivotal two-point try that does not go their way. Now it's a big uphill battle for the rest of the 4th quarter.
The attempt was to try and make it a one-score game, right? Touchdown, get 2, and now you've tied it up. Instead, they don't get it, still down 10.
And the Buccaneers able to recover. Their hands team does its job. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And a give this time to the tailback. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Going to throw right side here, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives them a first down. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
Now a play fake here on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Oh, Jameis Winston still down. Must have been shaken up there on the last play. Let's hope he's okay. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. So off goes the franchise and Winston. And now all eyes here on the backup as he takes under center. And now here's a carry heading left. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So with that miss, Charles, you have to figure their fate. It might be sealed.
Yeah, you needed 2 scores. So you take the field goal first and then worry about getting the ball back. But that may not matter now.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 23 yards on the play. He'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Clock running here under 90 seconds to go. They'll set up a throw. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Cordero Patterson, the one he was hoping to get it to. And it's third down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. He'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Let's go. 319. 319.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he gets it down to the 32. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Victory formation now for the Buccaneers. Down to a knee they go. Winston goes ahead, takes the knee, and that should be all she wrote. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Bucs, it's a win that might keep them alive in the playoff race as they're back to 500 at 5-5. And they'll return home next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From Oakland, we sign off. So long, everybody.